Welcome back to Upper Michigan Today. I'm Barbara Bellinger, and I am lucky to be here with Tia today, filling in for Elizabeth. Yay! So we're on the historic walking tour in the city of Gladstone. We've moved down the block a little bit. We are on Wisconsin Avenue, and I'm excited to learn more. We just heard about one house, and now we are at 814 Wisconsin.
Yeah, this is just another stop on the tour right next door to your house where we just were.
That is correct. Now, Webster Marble, he was the one who developed Marble Arms. And Marble Arms was very important to the community. Even Lindbergh, when he flew across the Atlantic, used his compasses in some of his things. Amelia Earhart. Eric helped me out on this a little bit. He had the match container for keeping matches dry.
During World War One, they had the compasses and they had the match containers to keep the matches from getting wet. And
sold millions of those, especially to hunters. And they had the game getter line, rifles, etc. And he developed all that. He was very ingenious on developing things, many patents. But the business end of it, that's where James T. Jones came in to assist on the business end to make it successful on the economic side. But he had ideas that nobody else has ever had. In fact, there's a display at the Delta County Chamber of Commerce in Escanaba explaining all this as well. And I highly encourage people, if they're in the area, to see that.
So really, this interests me because I'm not sure if I would want to live next door to someone I was also in business with. But you're saying we've got this side of Marble Arms and then the business side, literally one house down. So,
but they overlapped. I think it was the time they all knew they needed one another. And I don't think eagles were that high like sometimes they can be today. But in fact, this house, to be honest with you, was actually built by Mr. Van Cleve, who mapped out the community. And there's Van Cleve Park in Gladstone by the lake. He's the one that built it. He didn't live here long. He moved to another residence, but he's the designer and builder of this home, with the carriage house out back, et cetera, et cetera.
So when was this home built?
I don't know, but unless it says so on the sign. We only put so much on the sign because there's only so much room, or people would lose interest in some of the dates. Sometimes with history, people get too consumed with dates. Remember that in school?
Yeah, definitely.
And they're so busy with dates, they don't get the concept.
Right.
Sure.
And see, with doing all this, history isn't taught as much as it used to be because they're crowded out with other sciences and what have you. And it was decided that here in Gladstone, from stories from our parents, right, Eric? And other things of that nature, after we're gone, I think that history will be lost as far as knowing about it. There's a school that's named James T. Jones, after the gentleman at my home. And one time I asked the kid, do you know who James T. Jones is? No, I have no idea. So we're trying to bring that history back.
And I was actually going to say a very similar thought. I grew up in Gladstone, and, my whole elementary school, I went to James T. Jones Elementary. I had no idea who he was. So I hear the name Van Cleve, I think of Van Cleve Park. Marble, I hear Marble Arms, but I had no idea growing up. So I think that this is really an awesome opportunity for people that have been lifelong residents of Gladstone to learn about this too, because, like I said, I didn't even know.
And that brings up a good point. Harkening back to getting this information, we're going to head over to another house.
Yes.
But a lot of what you're gathering with the historic committee, you're relying on the people in this community to gather. We just talked about when this house was built. Well, if people don't come in and get information to your old articles and stuff, you're kind of missing some information.
In fact, a lot of this information comes from conversations we've had with our parents, or they're talking to other family members, and as a kid your ears are open all the time like radar, and you remember these things.
Right.
And also, again, Ann Jelsma Miller is an excellent research individual, and she can get right down to the nitty-gritty, to the exact thing, and she enjoys it, and she's very good at it. But we're thankful to her again. Now, this home here was I.N. Bushong. He, very prominent. In fact, when he died, the whole city shut down in his honor. He was a mover and shaker. He had operating here flooring mills, all kind of lumber mills. He started Gladstone State Bank,
Wow.
which I'm privileged to be on the board with, and interesting history there. And he was from Ohio. He heard about all the advantages with all the lumber up here, and he was coaxed to come up, did his investigation, and he came and built the home. And he was very generous to the community. He loved to travel. He loved history. And we have a lot to be thankful for Ian Busham. In fact, his son took over the business, and we'll be showing that house shortly.
All right. Well, I think on that note, maybe we can take another commercial break and keep our tour moving along.
Keep on walking.